Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Gigi, and today we're going to be doing a fall welcome sign project. Now that the weather's getting a little bit colder, the leaves are starting to fall, this is the perfect time for this project, and it'll sure to please. Here's some materials that you'll need. You'll need a cup of water and some brushes, white acrylic paint, thin piece of wood, fall leaves, and a hot glue gun, along with a black and white pen. Let's start with the project. So first you're going to start out with a thin piece of wood and you're going to start painting it white. So I use an actual outdoor paint for this one instead of like a gesso or just a base white acrylic paint. This way it could be used outside if you want, but if you're going to keep it inside or keep it for decoration, like in between a screen door and your front door, then regular white acrylic is fine. I did a pretty thin coat here so that way you could still see a little bit of the wood grain and the wood knots, but if you want to make it all really white and layer on thick, that's up to you. Once you're about done with that, let it dry. It should take about 30 minutes for me, but if you layer it on thick, I will leave it on for 45 for an hour and then check on it. Alright, so once it's dry, then you're going to take your pencil and draw your welcome sign. Now if your wood has holes like this and like mine does, right here I'm trying to figure out what would be best to have the holes on the bottom or holes on the top. So I figured the holes would be on top and it would be easier to do the cursive with this way. So right here I'm going to be starting to actually write out the word welcome. So I'm going to take this and kind of make it fairly large. Leave yourself plenty of room because the black marker is going to be a little bit wider than your pencil tip. If you make a mistake with this, no worries, just lightly erase and you'll be fine. The wood's sturdy enough, or should be sturdy enough, and along with the white paint, if you let it dry, it should be fine. And then honestly, with a black marker, it'll cover up a lot of the pencil marks and you can always go in and kind of fill that in with more white paint if your black marker doesn't cover it. I was going for more of like a playful kind of just messy cursive that seems to be in style right now, and I really enjoyed it. I don't really like super perfect things. I like to be original in the aspect of having that kind of playfulness and having that kind of originalness where it's not going to be like anything else. If you'd rather use a stencil and if that's easier for you, go for it. But I encourage you to use a freehand approach to this and really try to draw out your own welcome sign. It'll be more rewarding in the end. So once you've gotten your pencil done, you like where you're at, now you're going to go in with the black marker and start tracing over your pencil lines. So with this, I'm going to make certain parts wider But a tip with the acrylic markers is that you're going to make sure that you keep the acrylic pen perpendicular or straight up in comparison to the wood. It should always be straight or as straight as possible. This will help keep the ink flow nice and smooth, and you won't get any jagged lines. So now that you're about done with your black marker, don't pull me in this aspect. Wait for the black marker to dry for about like 5-10 minutes and then start in with your white marker. You'll have so much better results than I have. But once you let it dry, then you're going to go in the middle of the actual black that you did and put a thin white little line, kind of just mimicking almost the pencil lines that you did. Now this is optional, up to you. I really like this kind of like whimsical look. If you like it better with just the black, then be my guest and leave it there. So now that we're done with the white line, let's start with the decorating process. So right here, I'm kind of grabbing my burlap that I had extra and just kind of creating a bow with it. Once you have the size and shape down, I'm going to use a little bit of twine and go in and just kind of tie that around the bow to keep the shape. To kind of also hide and kind of blend in those twine strings, I made a little tiny bow on top of the bow, just so that way it kind of blends in a little bit better. To kind of make the ends look a little bit nicer, I'm cutting out a little triangle out of each little bottom portion. This will help give it kind of finished look. Now on to the decorating part. So first we have to figure out how we're going to hang our sign. So I'm going to actually put the twine in front and then stick 2 leaves on top of it to kind of camouflage that. But make sure that you have your actual hanging twine in the middle of the wood. Otherwise it's going to be lopsided and want to hang like either left or right. Just make sure that it's in the middle and even. Otherwise you're going to get a really wobbly sign. So I glued down the twine and then I added a little bit more glue and put down the leaf to kind of camouflage it. This will give a nice pop of color and also kind of just camouflage how you're doing the twine and how it's attached. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing for the other side as I did with that one. As you can see here, I made this a little lopsided. That's why I kind of gave the disclaimer, just because it's a little lopsided. Make sure that your leaves are nice and secure because this is what's really going to hold down the twine. So add little bits of glue to really hold down that leaf and make it super secure. And this will help kind of anchor everything. Alright, so now that we have that done, I'm going to start gluing the bow. I'm going to put a big glob of glue on, like right in the middle, and then press that middle of that bow in. Really just kind of making sure it's nice and secure. Then I'm going to start on the right side and put a little dab of glue on just on the underneath of the bow. Tap that down and place the leaf. So this adds a little bit of glue on the bottom of the bow and on the actual wood part too. It's a little trick so that way everything kind of anchors to each other and doesn't blow off. I'm going to add my second leaf right underneath that one and kind of have them overlapping. Add a little bit of glue down there and then just slide that one right in and press both of them down. Just like how we did with the top leaves, we're going to really anchor these ones down as well, so that way they don't fly away. I had these super cute acorns that I had just laying around here, so I'm going to use those for the middle of the bow and just kind of add a little bit of fall flair too. Now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did on the other side and just really make sure that everything is secured down. And with that, your project's complete. It should look something like this. I really hope you enjoyed this project and really kind of getting in that fall mood. This is a perfect, simple, and cheap project that you can do that really kind of brings in a whole nice autumn feel. And as always, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. We'll see you in the next video.